Oh, hello. So no one's told you. It's a P-Brew summer. Almost 2 months ago, I beat the map Gay Bowser's Castle with P-Brew destroyers. Although the save up for P-Brew was slightly annoying, and the early game was more difficult than I'd like it to be, once I got the P-Brew for the destroyers, it was a hit of dopamine like I'd never felt in Bloons before. The rest of the game was trivial. Projectiles were flying all over the map, and rounds like 98, 99, and 100 were completely free. After that, I wondered, what's the hardest possible map that I could beat with P-Brew destroyers? Then I saw Hexahive. Hexahive is an extreme expert, meaning harder than any Ninja Kiwi maps, but most people would agree it is the easiest of the extreme experts. Although it is the easiest, the gimmick and targeting still makes it quite a challenge on some rounds. So I tried it, and then I got the strat to work. I put in a little bit of time trying to black border it, and then I left it for almost 2 months. Seeing the new update coming soon, I knew I had to get this black border run done before any tower that I was using got changed. So I spent some time optimizing and changing the strategy till it was finally ready for a black border run. Or so I thought, because for 4 days I had to come up with a new early game that I was convinced was going to work. Because in theory, if I beat every single round from 12 to 40 first try, and I beat every round from 6 to 27 first try, surely that means that I could beat 6 to 40 first try. And this lasted for 4 days, until I was finally able to get out of the early game. Starting out, this map uses a sub-dart start, and it's pretty easy till round 15, where I have to change the targeting of half of my towers to set me up for the next couple of rounds. Round 20, I get Brickle, and most of my problems in the early game of me losing to certain rounds can all tie back to me thinking a round is 100% perfect, but it turns out I just got lucky with the C-mine RNG. So figuring out which rounds were the actual problem was a pain. Even once I got the strategy to the point where I liked it and was confident, the map would reward me with a stray round 32 loss that I had never seen before. Early round 35, I get the first destroyer, and this in theory will carry me through the rest of the early game, allowing me to save up for our second early game tower, another destroyer. Finally making it to round 40, I get the second destroyer, and I'll use naval tactics to kill the Moab easily. This marks the third time I was able to get out of the early game. Round 47, I get the destroyer to an aircraft carrier, which will easily take us to round 60. Earlier I mentioned that this map has a gimmick, and that gimmick is that some of the balloons are delayed in coming on screen. You see this especially in rounds like 82 and 84, where 3 to 5 Moabs suddenly appear on screen at the same time. I personally like this gimmick and think it's an interesting concept. The one thing I don't like about this map, however, is that the bottom right hexagon has the worst targeting. So even if my monkeys are on first, they will prioritize other lanes until it's way too late. Round 60, I place a boat before upgrading to the carrier flagship because I would lose that water spot if I didn't. And now with carrier, we've solved mid-game till round 80. I'll buff the carrier with a village and an AUK, along with getting another destroyer to help me during the mid-80s. If you take anything away from this video, I want it to be that 502 carrier is the better crosspath. When starting the game, a lot of new players, including myself, are drawn to the carrier, and the large amount of projectiles you get with the 520 carrier. And while yes, the damage is better, you are more likely to lose to an earlier round due to not having the pierce compared to a later round where you don't do enough damage. Anyways, I get the Mermonkey here to further increase the pierce of the carrier flagship and to help clean up the ceramics during the early 80s. Now for the 80s. Rounds 80 to 84 are by far the hardest part of the entire run, with almost every round besides 81 requiring 1 to 2 abilities with specific timing. Anyways, I lied. 80 through 83 is a complete joke compared to 84, with the Mermonkey doing the most work on 83 by cleaning up ceramics in the hardest hexagon. Now round 84 is a different beast during this run. It seemed like no matter what I did and how much money I saved, or how many things I cut, round 84 would always need to be beaten without permabrew, and no matter what I did, such as changing the targeting or anything like that, I would still most likely lose to the round. Out of the 100 plus failed attempts to blackboard this map, I made it past round 42 other times. Both times I lost on round 84 because of the RNG, even with proper ability timing. Even practicing this round did not make me feel confident. But by some miracle, that I call a 300 Mermonkey, I managed to beat the round, making it the farthest possible point that I've gotten in any blackboarder run while trying to blackboarder this map. I still don't have P-Brew, but 85 is easy, requiring 2 abilities that don't require any precise timing, and 0 RNG. And after that, 86 is completely free, requiring 0 abilities. Just $200 short, I placed a Megamind to kill the first ZUMG. After 100 attempts and only 3 getting past round 40, I finally get P-Brew. I'm free at last. And with that, Hexahive has been blackboarded with P-Brew destroyers. It really is a P-Brew summer. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate all the support and comments. I don't usually respond to them, but I do read every single one. I'd also like to say thank you for 100 subscribers. Although we hit that milestone 2 months ago, it still shocks me every day to open the app and see that I'm at over 100 subscribers. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I feel honored that you want to watch my content. Anyways, thank you, and have a great summer.